Boy, this thing never ends. We're talking about the Dodgers situation. And the Dodgers situation is they're still in first place. The positive news, Kershaw, 6 shutout innings over the weekend. Best outing I think he's had since they shut him way down. I have no explanation because he's not playing every day in the field. He's not pitching. His preparation is strictly to be the leadoff guy in DH. How is Ohtani, who's got 38 home runs, hitting 147 since June? 147. He's still a shade above 300 overall. 147.
Since June?
Since June.
It's like this has been going on for a month and a half or 2 months?
Month and a half.
This is amazing.
It is amazing. So that's a stunner. Yeah, he's still hitting rocket shots and 448-foot bombs. And a 147 batting average for him. Tyler Glasgow goes on the DL. Elbow inflammation. He's such a physical force guy. He's got a history of elbow problems going back not just to Tampa Bay, but prior to that, when he was a high draft pick of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and now he's broken down. Bobby Miller, boy, what a dreadful performance from him. And, of course, he pitched well at the end of last season. I think he had a 3.20 ERA when they needed him to pitch at the end of last pennant race. Started out well, hurt his shoulder. He has just not found it. He's not dialed in. In his last, let me get this correct, 22 innings, he has given up 32 hits, walked 13. That's 35 base runners in 22 innings, given up 7 bombs, and thrown 5 wild pitches in 22 innings. He just can't find his mechanics. And now it's so critical. They're desperate for starting pitching. They got to give somebody the ball, and they keep giving him the ball, and he's really struggling badly. Who's not struggling is a guy they got from the White Sox. And what did your loudmouth co-host say last week?
Make him the closer.
Make Michael Kopech the closer, right. And Michael Kopech is now the closer.
They listen to you.
Back-to-back saves. He throws 1 inning at a time. How about these stats? In last 30 batters Michael Kopech has faced, 1 hit allowed, 13 strikeouts. Dude was clocked at 102 in the last inning of his last save. So now they got a closer, and they got Evan Phillip in front of him. They got Blake Trinan in front of him. They got Daniel Hudson in front of him. Now, those guys can be hot, can be cold, but it looks like it's Kopech's job at this point in time. And now to top it all off, Freddie Freeman. Ground ball, injures, finger on the glove hand. Can't play. Didn't break it. At least they don't think he did. But swelling got worse over the weekend, came back from St. Louis, was having x-rays, MRI today again. There's something wrong in that finger. I don't know if it's a tendon, if it's a ligament, or if maybe there's a chip fracture in there. Dodgers don't need more injuries. My God, it's just been a nightmare. And they're still in first place. I don't know how they're still in first place. I went back and I looked in the National League East. Atlanta is on the brink of falling into the crevice. They have so many injuries, and they just suffered another one, losing Austin Riley today with a fractured hand, after losing Ozzie Albies, after losing Ronald Acuna, after losing Mike Hill, and of course losing their ace of the staff, Spencer Strider.
Yeah.
And it's like it's all caught up to them. I mean, that is Atlanta lying face down in the gutter. They might not even make the playoffs now, unless they somehow hold on and win the division. So you got that trauma in Atlanta, and the Dodgers are living through the worst mess of injuries to a pitching staff I've ever seen, and they're still in first place. And Dave Roberts has been able to hold this sucker together, and I guess organizationally, you got to give them credit because they've got all these pitchers that they keep bringing up, and every one of them is broken down, and the Dodgers are not afraid to make trades. So, boy, these pennant races are weird. But this Dodger thing, I just keep wondering, when are they going to fall down? They haven't fallen yet.
You know, I would never wish any misfortune or illness on anyone.
But
the Dodgers, I might make an exception, because when they are fully healthy, it's a juggernaut. Yeah. I mean, they're going to run away with it. So the fact that they're struggling is giving other teams a chance to compete. Now, obviously, we want to see these guys come back. But it's incredible, all these injuries. You know, we've been talking about the pitching, pandemic. But our position players, are they getting hurt at a higher rate than they have in the past?
No. They've just had 2 guys who are out for extended periods. I mean, Mookie Betts is now back, Max Muncy is going to be activated, I believe, for tonight's game. Tommy Edman might be activated for tonight's game. But they've had the number I had, I'm just trying to remember it. They've had, by virtue of what they just did today, they just called up another minor league pitcher. They will have had 36 different pitchers on the roster this season. They've gone through 12 different starting pitchers since June 1st. And if Daniel Campusano, could start, he's the minor leaguer they just brought up, that'd be 13 different starters in the rotation since June 1st. It's absolutely stunning, and they're still in first place. So,
well, let me ask you this, Lee. Given their injury situation and the way the Diamondbacks and Padres are surging right now, do you think the Dodgers are going to win the NL West?
I think the Dodgers got a problem.
Yeah.
Because they're running out of players, and more guys just keep getting hurt. Now, Arizona's got a problem. Just off the top of my head, Arizona just lost Ketel Marte for a second time, re-injured his ankle last night.
Oh, man.
Already without Christian Walker, their legitimate power hitter. He's been on the DL. He's got an oblique, and was the third Arizona player who just went down maybe on Friday with a significant injury. So suddenly they're losing guys out of their batting order, and that batting order has been pretty prolific. So suddenly Arizona's got some problems here. So that's where we are. Wow. What's your take on Ohtani?
I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense to me, because the dude is crushing everything. I mean, have they figured out maybe a weakness? Is there like a zone in the quadrant there that he has the inability to hit the ball well? I don't know.
He said through his interpreter yesterday it's something mechanical.
Mechanical?
About his hitch, or maybe his stride, or maybe the location of the bat. But that's why you study video. But this sucker's been going on since the end of June. 147.
Well, what's interesting is that if you look at the batting mechanics of Shohei Ohtani and even Ichiro, they're a little bit different than for a lot of the American ball players. They kind of start the rotation of their hips a little bit earlier to kind of get more of that whipping action. And it makes you kind of wonder if hitting coaches in America would maybe struggle to help Shohei.
If I give you Dave Roberts' inside cell phone number, you want to call him and offer him that help?
Yeah, I'll say, hey, do you know who I am? I'm the co-host with Hacksaw. We got a solution for
But you have to identify yourself. Here's my driver's license. I'm a Giants fan. All right, so we got that to talk about. You're a Dodger fan. What stuns you most? That they haven't collapsed under the weight of all these injuries? Fans forum chat box is open. You have a solution to Ohtani. I mean, he still hits rocket shots and balls that go out of the stadium, but he's hitting 147. Dodger fans, join us on Fans Forum. Got another